Happy Devils Tuesday. This is Game Day Live, the Let's Go Devils podcast. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Vinny Parisi of Pucks and Pitchforks blog. Place is just starting to get packed, Vinny, as we're streaming live on Facebook Live, Twitter Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. Vinny, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Sam. Very happy for another pregame live. And it looks popping in there. It looks like a lot of fun and ready to get this thing going. Got the Kraken in town.
Yeah, you got people on the back bar right over there. You got the people on outside just walking through Edison Place as we're here at Taj Lounge 973 on 35 Edison Place. Great place to enjoy pregame, talk Devils hockey, talk about the Seattle Kraken first time here at the Prudential Center. Vinny, what are you expecting tonight? I mean, they got their butts kicked in 6-1 by the Flyers. They're on the second half of the back-to-back. What are your thoughts on this? Should Devils fans be scared of a well-rested team while another team may be avenging from their loss yesterday?
Yeah, well, I'm expecting a Kraken team to be angry, but I also don't know what to expect from Joey Daccord, who was named to be Seattle's starting goalie tonight. It's not going to be one of the two guys we're used to seeing for Seattle so far, being Philip Grubauer or what's his name, Chris Drieger. It's going to be Joey Daccord, the rookie. So Devils playing against that guy, going to see how that works out for Seattle. But as far as the skaters go, they should be pretty angry from what happened to them last night after getting destroyed by the Philadelphia Flyers. And for New Jersey, they played well against Chicago early in the game. They gave up 2 quick goals, but Jack Hughes kept the momentum going in overtime. So,
yeah, well, I expect the Seattle Kraken to get some energy from a familiar face, Nathan Bastian, tonight. Mikey McLeod said earlier this morning that this is the first time he's ever gone against his former teammate, Nathan Bastian. You think they're going to drop the gloves tonight?
well, we saw Bastian drop the mitts yesterday, and he got pounded. So we're hoping that at some point tonight we can see some fire from the Devils, maybe get under Bastian's skin a little bit. And if McLeod and Bastian drop the gloves, it'll probably be one of the more friendlier fights you've ever seen, but definitely expecting some intensity from both players playing against each other.
I see a Bruins fan that just walked by. I was trying to catch it. It's like, is that a Capitals fan? I can't even. No, it's a Devils fan. See, there's just too many cameras here. I'm getting
That's a good thing. We got
left and right. My ADD. Yeah, we got a lot of cameras. Now they're working. Unlike last.
Yeah, unlike last time.
Where they're just like falling down, right? Tipping over.
Yeah, but the Devils fans look good out there. A lot of green. The green has just been coming back in full force, and people are wearing that. And I love to see it out there, the mix of the black and red and the black and green. You got it all out there. Look, front and center, Patrick Elias, the old school green jersey. I love it.
Yeah, Langenbrunner, Brodeur. See a Jack Hughes over there.
Oh, yeah. We got all the airs. I saw Zach Parisi when we first logged online. You know, that gets me going.
Yeah, it definitely gets me going as well. So, Vinny, tonight the Devils need to continue that momentum as a very impressive opening night. Still, there's some flaws, some things that they need to address, but you got to love what Jack Hughes is doing right now. You got to love the confidence that he has and how he is fearless on the ice, and he has that shoot-first mentality.
Yeah, Jack Hughes has the ability to be an absolute superstar. When he has the puck on his stick, you know that there's a chance that something big can happen. And I appreciate the fact that he's been shooting, and, he had 2 sweet goals in the home opener, but he has the ability to make plays, and that was what he was suggested to be coming out of the development program. Like, hey, this kid, he's a playmaker, but he can also shoot and score. If his shot could get a little more power, he'll be a premier offensive player once he reaches the NHL, and we're starting to see that now. So His confidence is just at an all-time high. He's making big plays. He's an impact player by every stretch of the imagination. You saw how the Devils probably would not have won that game against Chicago if he wasn't in the lineup. So he's a difference maker, and he's doing it in all sorts of different ways. When he comes on the ice, the other team is going to be on their toes.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm seeing all the trash talk early on, crackheads, with the K, and not, there's no C in that. And Tony P on YouTube Live says Kraken going to be mad and feisty. And, I, I don't want to overanalyze it, but I just find it to be a trap game. Devils are well rested since last Friday off of that high. 4-3 victory over the Blackhawks in overtime. Now, they did give up 2 goals in the third period, but you know what? They found a way to win. But, tonight against Seattle, I feel like the energy is still here from opening night. And I would say maybe in the first period we'll find out, if the Seattle Kraken can withstand the Devils' pressure early on.
Yeah, when Vegas came into the league, they kind of made a statement early. And, they went on a super hot streak right there in October, and they looked like a contender in the Western Conference right away. And the Kraken, they're 1-2-1. They kind of seem like that cute little expansion team right now. Now, I know they could make a difference. They have good players, and it's a weak division that they could go on to make all this look silly by the end of the year. But if I'm the Devils, I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that they're angry, trying to get them right back. Here we go again. Test that kid goalie early. The faster you put 1 or 2 past him without giving up 1 yourself, the better chance you have at winning the game. Carry that momentum. You got some new faces back in the lineup tonight that we expect to see. And, like I said, get to the kid goalie early and you have a chance to win the game.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? And Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier have to, put on the pressure. Pavel Zacha will be out on the wing. Kind of pump faked us during preseason, thinking, maybe Pavel Zacha would be on center. But you know what? I think he is really effective, as a winger, using his size, obviously his talents, shooting the puck, passing, and just winning the battles in the corner. But Sharangovich and Koken, how did you think they played last game?
Yeah, I definitely think it was a step in the right direction for those two. You mentioned Zacha. Seeing him play with Bratt and Hischier, they made a play on the first play of the game where Bratt created a turnover and Zacha just made an awesome play to get the puck to Dougie Hamilton. We know what he can do. And then Hischier set up a nice screen. Didn't even get a point for it, even though he was one of the most pivotal players on the goal. But for Sharangovich and Kuokkanen, they're both guys who can pass. They're both guys who can shoot. They each do a different one at a different level. Sharangovich is more of a shooter, and Kuokkanen can make plays. But having Jack Hughes in the middle of both of them can really help them a long way. And you saw it with the way things turned out against the Blackhawks on Friday. And so with Zacha on the wing, you're running out Hischier, Hughes, Mercer, and McLeod as your centers. And I'm confident with it against almost anyone in the league.
What are your thoughts on Dawson Mercer? First game, got that assist to Andre Johnson, is what we call it on the post game. Touchdown, Andre Johnson! And you got to feel good for Johnson. I mean, last year was a bad year. Trying to keep himself in the lineup, makes the third line with Dawson Mercer. He may be the surprise player if he keeps this up.
Yeah, it was just a feel-good goal all around. So Mercer collects his first NHL point, and it's sitting there on the goal line. You're like, put it in, Johnson, put it in. And of course he does, and Mercer, he gets the puck. It's his first career NHL point. Still waiting on that goal. Thought it might trickle past, but Johnson ended up getting it. And he was a good player with the Leafs. And there's a reason Devils fans were excited when he was traded to come over. And he didn't live up to expectations at first. He wasn't that 20. I know it's hard to score 20 in 56 games like there was last year, but you get my point. Like, just be a consistent goal scorer. He wasn't that last year. There were cases to be made where a bunch of younger players deserve to be in the lineup more than him. But if he plays the way he did on Friday going forward, it could be a really nice season for him. You like to think a kid like Mercer could wake up a guy like that. You're playing wing on a line with a centerman who has high draft value. He is incredibly skilled, and he made noise during the preseason. He made the team over Holtz,
And Tomas
and Holtz was the
Tatar.
higher draft pick.
Tomas Tatar.
Him too. Exactly. Tatar has
Yeah.
a wildly respectful NHL career. He scored goals in bunches throughout playing with the Canadiens and the Red Wings. You know, there have been plenty of times where Tatar has been awesome, and we're hoping that that continues. And if Mercer can keep this up, those two wingers are going to enjoy their time playing on the third line.
Absolutely. And the fourth line, Mikey McLeod almost had one. Trying to, make his mark in front of the no fun zone is what I call it. Trying to have a little fun over there. A couple close ones, but the fourth line, they need to bring that energy. I can't wait till Miles Wood comes back. With that line, I don't know if he's going to play third line or fourth line. It doesn't matter because Tom Fitzgerald has built depth all around on this team. Let's go to the defense. Dougie Hamilton, I mean, what a way to start your career with the New Jersey Devils, your first game with the New Jersey Devils. 17 seconds in, crowd was already jacked up as is. Felt like a playoff atmosphere at the Rock. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like I said a little earlier, everything that happened on that goal was just flawless. You saw exactly what you needed to see from every member on the ice. It started with Bratt creating a turnover as the Hawks were trying to break out. And then Bratt creates this turnover, pushes the puck out, and Zacha just makes a great play to find Hamilton, who does not miss. He was signed to do things like that. He took advantage of Hischier setting the screen by driving the net, and he put it past Kevin Lankinen early. And it set the Devils off and running early. That's what you sign a guy to that type of contract to do, be a tone setter, create offense, play defense. Playing with Ryan Graves, I think, is great for him. And we'll see how long
Plus
that
Ryan
pairing...
Graves.
Yeah, he led the league after one game into the season. And, plus minus is a hit or miss stat. There are pros and cons to it. But when you're coming over to a new team that has struggled to keep the puck out of their own net over the last few years, and you're playing with a guy like Dougie Hamilton, who has tendencies to be more of a riverboat gambler type defenseman and create plays and do what he's got to do to score. This is a guy that came in fourth place for the Norris Trophy last year. That's no joke. The guys who finished ahead of him are just as incredible. So, setting the tone early, getting the Devils off and running, it allowed them to win the game. I think they controlled the game from there on. There were a couple times, obviously, when the Hawks, they tied it late and they got that power play goal early in the second period, but I'm a fan of what I've seen from Hamilton and the defense as a whole. And if you add Smith and Severson back into that mix, it has a chance to be a pretty good group.
Absolutely. And the size. I think all along what was missing from the New Jersey Devils for possibly 15 years, a stopper, an actual stopper. Now you have a pairing of Graves and Hamilton. That's your 1-2 punch right there. For years, the Devils had Scott Stevens, Ken Danico, Scott Niedermeyer, Adam Brian Rafalski, stoppers on defense. And that can change the whole dynamics of the team, confidence-wise. Sometimes I say the best offense is the best defense. But what I like about this team is that transitional game, that at a moment's notice, the opposing team can get caught off guard. And suddenly the puck's in the net, and they've got the players to do that, like Mercer, Hischier, Hughes, Tatar, right up the gut, right up the ice. Play the North-South game.
Yeah, you make a good point about the defenders. And the nice thing is, besides Ty Smith, they're all big. They can all impose their will wherever they want to. And that's just such a good-looking bar. I love this place. They can all impose.
I mean, what are these people drinking back there? I'm wondering what the orders are. People. I wish I could turn the camera around behind me. Of course, I point the camera where there's nobody there, but maybe I'll try to get people over to my side. But this is what the Game Day Live is about: drinking beers, eating food, talking Devils hockey, playing some music, high-fiving. I don't know. I mean, this is what
Yeah,
we do.
that-
Vinny, we got to get you out here. You got to get a flight out here from Chicago to where we're at. We'll feed
Yes.
you. The catfish is very good here, by the way.
I'll be there at some point this season. I want to talk Devils hockey with you and the fans and everybody there. We were just talking about the defense and how they're they're a bunch of stoppers. I want to be a stopper. I want to come there and make an impact on that bar and have some fun.
Oh, absolutely. Vinny the Stopper.
Exactly.
Vinny the Stopper, wow. So what are the fans saying in Chicago, the Blackhawks? Are they mad at their team, or do they think the Devils are that good, or what are your thoughts? Like, what are they saying?
Going into the game, there was a lot of this Devils team stinks, and if we don't win, we're in trouble. That's what they were saying, on the blogs
That's what they're
and on
saying?
the radio. And obviously the Devils, they're not bad. The people are wrong. They have a bad misconception of the Devils because of the way they played last year. The roster has incredible playmakers and kids taking steps, and they made some solid additions. So they're wrong about the Devils. What they're right about is that the Hawks, they've stunk so far. And they made some big additions like Seth Jones and Marc-Andre Fleury and Tyler Johnson. They should not be playing as bad as they are. The city has turned on the coach. That's just the bottom line. Jeremy Colleton's name is all over everywhere. And it was the game against the Devils that kind of got people saying that. And then they were brutally outplayed by the Devils. I know they allowed the 2 late goals. That's an issue the Devils need to work on. But after the way the Devils played against them, and then they come out and go down 4-0 early to the Pittsburgh Penguins, Jeremy Colleton is not in Chicago's good graces right now, which is kind of a theme for most of their coaches across all sports.
And Damon Severson back in the lineup. Ty Smith maybe a few games away. Much has been said. I'm reading some of these posts, butt puck. Again, another Let's Go Devils podcast term. Look, last year was last year. All is forgiven. The Devils are 1-0-0. Give the guy a chance. I mean, he's been on the Devils for a while now. I think he'll get it together. He's been through the good times, but not many good times, but through the bad times. I have high hopes for Severson to really step it up.
Yeah, so do I. And yes, he has his issues. He's got, the butt goal or butt puck, whatever you called it. He's scored on his own net. There was that one game in overtime against the Leafs where he tried to clear it and it went behind Mackenzie Blackwood. That kind of stuff has been an issue. But his 120-something assists that he has or whatever it is in his career, those don't grow on trees. The guy can create offense. He could run a power play. And if he could just figure out the little things that make you want to, scream, which I think he can, especially playing with a unit that has Hamilton and Graves and Smith and Subban even, who's been there, done that. I think he has a chance to be a good player. And as long as you're not using him as your number 1 or even number 2, he could be an impact player on the team.
Yeah, and also Mac Black, Mackenzie Blackwood, still out. I've seen some of the conspiracy theories behind it. I honestly believe he is nursing an injury. I don't want to make a big deal out of it. I'm assuming Jonathan Bernier, I haven't checked the lineup, Jonathan Bernier is probably in net. Did they put out the starting lineups yet? I don't have them.
They haven't been putting out the starting lineups. You know how Lindy Ruff is about that kind of stuff. But
they're so secretive.
They have been secretive. They have been secretive. And I would assume it's going to be Bernier. I can check the Twitter sphere right now, but it certainly looks like it's okay. So it is going to be Bernier versus Seattle. Okay, that's per Amanda Stein on Twitter.
Yep. Okay, all right. Sitting next to me, you know him as Jersey Joe Stanislaw.
Jersey Joe.
Yeah. There's Jersey Joe. You're full screen, talking, drinking at the bar. How's the atmosphere here, Joe?
I don't mean to be a buzzkill, but Jersey Joe is not. His audio is cut.
Oh, it's cut? Shouldn't be cut. Oh,
can't hear Jersey Joe at all.
Yeah, producer
can hear him now.
Sam
Got him.
Screwed that one up. Yeah.
Got him.
Right,
He's
perfect.
in.
All right, so it's been almost 2 years since I've been back since Blackwood lost his 2 teeth against Islanders.
Really?
That was the last time I was at the Prudential Center prior to COVID. So it's been a while, but I feel great just listening to you guys here and, getting ready to get my butt back in 107.
Oh, okay. I was in section 12. I think I said section 7. And Scotty's like, oh, well, excuse me. And Vinny, I don't know if you know the sections, but, it's basically the rich people section. It's like I can high five Arlette when she comes out and sings the national anthem. And he's like, oh, excuse me. It's like, look, I know people in high places. What, you want me to say no? But, yeah, I mean, but it's good to be back. I mean, the energy of the crowd on opening night, it felt like a playoff game. The weather outside was 83 degrees Fahrenheit, right?
I will say it probably had to be like at least 23, 25 Celsius for our international listeners.
Yeah, we are the #1 Devils podcast in the country of India, so I want to be inclusive on that.
Well, we had to include Canada as well.
Yeah, Canada, yeah.
But anyway, so we talk about tonight's game. The Sasquatch squad, which is a big, tall, physical, gritty defense, I like to think of as this new era of Devils defense. So if anyone thinks they're going to have a field day like they did, last year, look at game 1 of this past game we just had. And look at the way, Fitzgerald and Ruff have this team assembled. You think you're going to have a field day again? You're not.
Yeah. Well, names like Twin Peaks, Twin Towers.
So let me explain that. So there's Backhanded Devil, buddy of mine I've had for 5 years, done
Great
my
guy.
logos. He and I, pieced together some ideas. So the guys that make up the Sasquatch squad, of course, is Hamilton and Graves. And Graves, some people say gravy train, but I say he's a Sasquatch by trade. So you think you're going to mess with him? Go have a effing field day any day you want because he's going to squash you. But you can look at guys like Jaros or even Gertson to say his name out loud, but he's just one of those troublemakers. You think you're going to have fun? Good luck. He's going to win board battles. Why do you think Fitzgerald picked him off waivers from the Rangers?
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I've said this before. The depth is great because you had Ty Smith and Damon Severson out. They played a lot of minutes last season, and not a problem. You plug the holes with some big guys that can skate, guys that are, they're not Bobby Orr, but you know what? Hey, they did the job. And Colton White, that's a name that we should be paying attention to. I honestly think he may be a mainstay. I was seeing some good things from him.
What I noticed about him over the past couple of years is that he's been good with a puck transitioning. Mm-hmm. He's not a heavy hitter or anything like that. He's not going to amaze you with that. He's going to try and do the small things right, which is what Bryce Salvador breaks down. And when it comes to guys like Jaros, they're meant to be meat and potatoes type players. Like from Slovakia, he's meant to be a big physical grinder who's going to keep the no fun zone absolutely no fun. You want to make sure teams aren't going to get too cozy under the bed. You want to keep them, with a Sandman coming, with a Sasquatch, furry, right on Halloween. You want to scare the bejesus out of people.
Absolutely. And that's what we talked about. Intimidation. Just not getting pushed around anymore. Just on paper, this team's a big team. Now
and that's what you need.
Act like it.
They're a big team, and a lot of the bigger players, they provide skill. So Graves, he's not, like you said, he's not Bobby Orr out there, but if Graves takes a slap shot, from a nice play set up by Hughes, he has a chance to go in. It has a chance to create something for the team. Same thing with Hamilton, obviously, who's outstanding offensively. Damon Severson and PK Subban, those are bigger guys, and they create offense. Ty Smith is really the only smaller one. So as long as the size meets the skill well enough on this team, and that applies to the forwards too. Nico Hischier is bigger than people realize, and so is Kuokkanen and Sharangovich. Jack Hughes is really the only super small one. So the team has a little bit of everything that you need, and it showed in the early going so far.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't teach size. You can't. And when you're blocking the passing lanes or the shooting lanes and all that, I mean, they're just big. And then add eventually Mackenzie Blackwood back in net, it's almost impossible. And that's what we're hoping for, that will solve, all the defensive issues. I don't want to beat a dead horse with the penalty killing, the man down situations, because I've done that like 5,000 times. I think that will come in time. But if the Devils haven't solved that by midseason, and it's costing them multiple games, I hate to say it, but I think Nazardine may be on the hot seat, like on the short leash.
But I will interrupt you on this one, though.
Okay.
You have Jack Hughes, who's a potential Selke Trophy candidate, and then you have another guy in Nico Hischier, another Selke candidate. And if Mercer can play his own defensive zone, play two-way, you have 3 out of 4 lines that can play two-way, 200-foot hockey. So this creates time and space for the Sasquatch squad in the back end to protect and secure the no-fun zone and, of course, win those defensive opportunities to create those offensive outputs. So you really create more offensive output chances. So you look at the analytical side, you're looking at a better chance for the Devils to clear the puck out and be one of the top 10, 12 teams in the NHL in that category. And don't be surprised if the Devils are in the top 8 in the East if they keep up the pace like that, and it'll be pretty good before March.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as the penalty kill figures it out, they'll be all good.
They have to figure it out. I mean, you're losing a lot of games. You can't close out games when it's 6-on-5 or 6-on-4 or 6-on-3, whatever. It's a problem that extends back for the last 2 years.
And I think the biggest issue is getting the puck out. They got to get the puck out. The last goal that the Hawks scored, I believe it was Kubalik, Kubalik was the extra attacker for the Hawks on the play. The puck came like an inch away from leaving the zone, and everybody would have had to come out. There was 30 seconds left. That probably ended the game. So if it's me, if I'm Nazardine, I'm putting pressure on getting the puck out of the zone. No matter what, make the safe play. You don't need to hit empty nets every single time. Just get the puck out. That was the biggest key for me on that game.
Yeah, so, all right, so let's go over predictions. We're going to half past the hour. What are your predictions? Let's start with you, Jersey Joe.
Well, first off, I want to say that we're going to see Igor Sharangovich and Jack Hughes have a couple of maybe points tonight. I see Sharangovich maybe possibly getting the first one in the back of the net on the Devils side. You obviously want to get, Decord on his back rocker if you catch him off pace with the fast-paced puck movement. Anywho, I see it going to be a Hamilton-Graves night again, and then you have the defense is going to be key in this one. I'm thinking maybe 5-3, 5-2 Devils.
Vinny?
I like the prediction. He makes some good points. He makes some good points. I agree with him. Tonight's the night Sharangovich scores his first goal of the season. I want to see that. I'd like to see Nico Hischier get on the board as well, too, tonight. We saw Jack Hughes get off to a hot start. They need that 1-2 punch. That's key for me this season. I think they're going to jump on the Kraken early. It has to be a shoot mentality. You need to turn that place into a shooting range for the Devils on the kid goalie making his first start. And it'll help Bernier the rest of the way. I got the Devils winning this one 4-1.
Well, my predictions of 9-0, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be very close early on, but then the Devils and their speed, they're well rested. I think they're going to pull away 5-1 over the Seattle Kraken. Again, it's not me trying to be a homer. They played last night, 6-1, lost to the Flyers. You got to think they're a little tired, but if the Devils can withstand them and just finish and put the puck in the net, I think they'll be fine. I think the defense is going to hold. I think Seattle, they're going to be tough defensively early on, and then it's just going to all fall apart. So those are my predictions. Joe?
It may sound biased.
So what do you got? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jersey Joe.
Well, I said, it's going to be a big game night for Joey Tolentino between the microphone tonight for tonight's announcement. So I would expect him to have the best game since the first game he called. So
he's 2-0 right now.
He's 2-0.
He's 2-0.
So I say to all the people, the haters on Facebook and whatnot, give him respect. Come on, we're all family in this thing. We're all Devils family.
If the Devils go on a 15-game losing streak, I usually point and blame people, but that's just me.
Well, if there's someone that is to blame for a 15-game losing streak, it should be on Elaine Nasreddine first.
Yeah.
I-
Leave Joe alone. Just leave Joe alone. He did nothing, okay?
JT did nothing. People voted.
Yeah, it just he did nothing. It's like, and then, I was part of that whole thing, and it was just, what? Where did this conspiracy theory came from? Oh, Sam works with the Devils. He knows people. It's like, no, I'm just like everybody else. But that's
Yeah,
another
you submitted an
podcast for
application
another
and
day.
they liked you.
Yeah. And
I don't think it's biased,
Well,
though,
what I was-
Joe and Sam, because to say that the Devils are going to have a good game here, though, because we have no reason to believe that the Kraken should just come in here and impose their will on them. They have a new guy starting in net that we've all never heard of. We all follow hockey really closely. I follow both of you. I know your hockey knowledge is incredible. Most of us haven't heard of this guy, and he's making his first career start with the Kraken tonight. So get pressure on him early. I have a feeling the Devils score in the first minute again. And forget I ever said that if they don't.
well, we got everything recorded. Jersey Joe, thank you for coming out and
Absolutely.
And all that. And this is what we do. We're Devils fans. We go to a bar. We talk hockey. We cheer on our team.
We even eat live on
Yeah.
live air.
Yeah. Live air. We eat the catfish.
Yeah.
We got rowdy people. We got people outside.
And if they don't have fries for you, they give you mac and cheese there for a substitute. So thank heavens.
Also, programming
I'm coming
note,
for that
Chico
catfish.
Resch will be here Saturday.
Chico.
Resch will be here Saturday live, Taj Lounge 973 for Game Day Live right over here. So come over.
We definitely need to have Chico Eats again and eat the poutine first.
Yes. And the catfish. I'm all about the catfish at Taj Lounge 973. Want to thank all those that came out. Rocco, Will, all sorts of people. Joe came out of nowhere.
Well, I said I'm not far off today, so I'm coming.
Yeah. So enjoy the game, everybody. This is Let's Go Devils Game Day Live. See you next time. Oh,
There's a Niedermeyer right behind me.
One other programming note. Devils After Dark, the joke's on us. We got relocated. There's a comedy show here tonight. So we won't be doing that at Taj Lounge 973, but the rest of the Devils After Dark post-game show will be here at Taj Lounge 973. So I got to figure out what to do with Scotty from SiriusXM Liquid Metal. All right. Till next time.
Let's
Enjoy the game. Let's
go Devils!